In a Gallup poll conducted in May of 2017, Americans were asked to rate our moral values. 81% said only fair or poor. 77% say that U.S. moral values are getting worse. We know of Daniel in the Bible. The Babylonians wanted to change his name so he'd be like them. But we know him as Daniel, not Belteshazzar. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azazarah were Daniel's Jewish friends. But we know them as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Daniel remained distinct from a pagan culture. His friends blended in. We raise our young people in our churches, but then we send them out into the world which seeks to absorb them and rob them of their distinctiveness, just as the Babylonians did to the Jews centuries ago. Professors talk about quantum fluctuation and the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. What might happen if we suggested to our students, it's a God thing? The Apostle Paul was no astrophysicist, but do you think he was looking at the constellations of Hercules and Draco when he said in Romans 16:20, "The God of peace will soon crush Satan under your feet"? And how did the prophets of Old Testament times stand for God in a pagan world? How did God's people keep their faith as they were taken into captivity amidst an immoral culture, where infant sacrifice and temple prostitution were common pagan religious practices? Just like today, international wars were fought in ancient times. The superpowers of Babylon and Egypt clashed, while small nations like Israel were caught in the middle. In the same way, the superpowers of the 20th century fought a Cold War with small satellite countries serving as buffer states, with different ethnic and religious groups caught in the middle. The ancients. We have a fascination with them. What are their stories? How did they live? In what did they believe? How did they fight their wars? The Old Testament is a rich treasure trove of stories about God's people, how they lived and tried to follow God, and what we can learn from them and apply to our lives. Are you a ministry leader working with high school or college or post-college youth or young adults? If so, then I encourage you to sign up for the webinar, Raising Daniels, Godly Lessons for Modern Times. You can go to wisejargon.com/webinars/raisingdaniels.html to learn more about how to sign up and register for that. Help young students stand as Daniels in a post-Christian culture.